So today the topic's a little bit different, but I want to talk about social media. I want to talk about specifically AI powered social media marketing, and how you can use AI as well as just a very consistent content strategy to grow your business online, because the biggest mistake that I see business owners making is number one, they're not posting on social media in any capacity. That's the biggest mistake. But the second largest mistake that people are making is that they're focusing on the wrong strategy. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that a lot of people are focused on what I like to call vanity metrics. They're chasing likes, they're chasing shares, they're chasing virality, right? But the reality here is that if your business is local and it's niche and it's a high ticket service like a lot of trades businesses are, you don't need millions of followers. What you need is the right 100 followers who can actually do business with you. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, I mean, you don't need a bigger audience, you need a smarter one, you need a better one, right? If your audience goes from very broad, I just want to target people in Cleveland, Ohio, and then you say, I want to target homeowners in Cleveland, Ohio. And then you take it a step further. I want to target homeowners in Cleveland, Ohio who make a household income of around 200,000 per year, right? The more standards I add to what kind of customer I'm looking for, yes, my audience gets smaller, my funnel gets smaller, right? But I'm pinpointed in on the type of person I need to get. And then by feeding the algorithm that data and letting Facebook or whatever know what sort of people that you want to be engaging with, you'll be able to essentially teach the algorithm to show your content to people who fit into your ideal customer base, right? So you want to start broad with what your audience is and then progressively niche it down to where you understand exactly what kind of clients you like to deal with, right? And once you have that understanding, you can use AI to build that audience for you. We literally build bots inside of our business for tradespeople who are looking for their ideal customers in their area. And these bots can find ideal customers, it can engage with them, and it can encourage them to follow back. So it can handle the entire social media process while you're able to just focus on creating content and doing the jobs that you're getting in the door. Like, you have to remember that unless the goal is to become famous, and in which case the strategy is different if you're trying to become famous, right? But if you're just trying to stay top of mind, then you just need to showcase what you do to people who want to see it. And I know that's a really simplified idea of how it works, but it really is just that simple. Who are the people who would most benefit from your services? Make content for them and let the algorithm do the work, because it's not about vanity, it's about visibility to the right people. When your ideal customers are following you, every post that you put up now is a reminder that you exist. You're stacking that authority, right? Because the reason that they might have even been interested in you in the first place is because, oh, well, maybe I'm thinking of a new landscaping project, or, you know what? I just recently purchased a rental property and the gutters are bad, so I'm going to need someone to replace my gutters. Or, you know what? I'm sick of this horrible color in my house. I want a shade of blue, so I need to hire a painter, right? They might be thinking about these things, but they haven't gotten to the point where they're ready to take action. But since you caught them while they were thinking about it, that might mean they gave you a follow. That might mean they gave you a like. That might mean they visited your website. It's because you were visible to them in the moment. And now, as you continue to post on social media, you will be at the top of mind as a consistent reminder that you can solve their problem. See, because you have to really think about how people actually engage with businesses. See, a lot of businesses, they get very frustrated about things like, oh, I'm not getting a lot of likes, or it just seems like I'm posting and it's just radio silence, right? But how people engage with actual businesses, again, we're not talking about influencers. We're talking about people who run businesses, right? So, how people actually engage in businesses is they don't always like, they don't always share. But if they're interested, it's likely that they will either comment or DM you directly, right? So, even just the random people who come in because they saw your content and you decided to reach out and say, hey, what can I do to help you out? They might not have been able to do business with you right then and there, but now they know who you are. Now you guys are connected and you can consistently serve them reminders by posting on social media. So we use a few different tools to build these different growth engines inside of people's social media accounts. One is called Inflact. That's for different IG automations and targeting. Phantombuster, we use that for Go High. We use that for LinkedIn. As well as some Instagram stuff. And then there's GoHighLevel, where we can build chat bots and then we're able to install them into different social media accounts. So there's a few different tools, and I'll go into those at a later video as far as how to actually use them. But look up these three tools. They can really help you with your social media growth, just finding the right audience, right? And then you also want to be posting at least 4 times per week, if not more. Right? Social media is free, so you can post as much as you want, but you want to be posting at least 4 times a week. And for our team, what we do is we actually go out to a customer's place of business. We have the scripts already written. We have the questions ready that we're going to ask them. We bring a videographer out, we script it, film it, and then we're posting it on their behalf. So it's completely automated for the business owner, right? But if you are at a point where you're just doing this yourself, you can do what we like to call a batch content day, where for 1 to 2 days, you're just making content. You're just walking around, you're talking about your job, you're answering questions, you're talking about the services you provide, you're talking to old customers to get testimonials on film, but you're spending a significant amount of time just generating content, just making content. And then you're able to go into these different systems like GoHighLevel, for example, and you can schedule the posts to go out. So you can sit down and spend an hour or two just scheduling your posts, and then the post can go out on autopilot without you having to worry about it if you don't have the ability to bring a team on to help you with it right now. So there's really no excuse to not post on social media. You have to start putting some content out there, and there's a lot of tools out there that allow you to do it. Um, but all that being said, smart social media means you're building awareness, and that awareness is actually useful and scalable as it relates to your business, because you're using things like AI targeting, smart automation, and local targeting content and visibility to show up in the right people's faces, right? I would rather have 100 engaged people who are interested and potentially want to buy from me than 1,000 people who maybe live in apartments and could never use my service, or they rent, so that's not who they would utilize, or they're broke. Right, that's why they have a lot of time to be on social media. You have to build an audience of people that could potentially work with you. So that's really it for today. You want to focus, as a recap, you want to focus on generating a smart audience for yourself. Okay. You want the right people to reach out to you. And I think about the CEO of Lululemon. Now he frustrated a lot of people when he did this, right? But it made a lot of sense. He was being asked about, one, the pricing of his clothing at Lululemon. If you've never been to a Lululemon, it's leggings, it's very Starbucks chic, right? Leggings, workout outfits, little things like that. Uh, and he got two questions, one about the price and the other about sizing. The prices are relatively high. It's about $115 for a simple workout set from Lululemon. And then size wise, they don't go up to plus sizes, right? And the CEO, he stood on business and he said, you know what? We have a specific type of clientele that we want to sell our stuff to. And we don't need to be big and inclusive of everybody. We want people who are high end and can spend the money, and then they can actually be advocates of our brand because they have a certain look to themselves, right? They're like, they straight up said in so many words, we're not looking for fat people to wear our stuff, we're not looking for unattractive people to wear our stuff. And while that sounds frustrating to say, as a business owner, you have to respect it, because how many times has someone absolutely wasted your time because they weren't your ideal customer? You know, I think about how people have reached out to me. They're maybe interested in working with me, or they're like, "Oh, Charles, I need marketing, I need this, I need that, but I don't have any money." Yeah, or, oh wow, like that's a really expensive or I couldn't afford to do that, or what do you mean I'm supposed to do that? And it's like, well, in what world did you think marketing doesn't cost money, right? But if I'm talking to, as I've gotten better at condensing the types of people that I'm talking to and niching down and saying, I'm only going to be offering my marketing to these types of people, and I'm going to put out content that's going to resonate with these types of people. That's how I was able to start getting the right sort of conversations flowing in my direction, where it's like, oh, this person could afford to pay a retainer and marketing because they've already developed a successful business, right? So I'm looking to work with people who are already successful in business and they want to go to the next level. They just aren't sure what they need to do. And more often than not, it's because there's something with their systems or marketing that we need to dial in, and that's what my team specializes in doing. But I'm rambling at this point, but social media is something I am very passionate about. It's helped me grow my business, it's helped me get my name out there and put me in a lot of different opportunities just because I wasn't afraid to post online. And I'm not some huge influencer, right? But you don't need to be a huge influencer to get exposed to opportunities if what you're putting out is genuine and interesting to the people who want to read it. So, again, build good audiences. Use the tools like Phantombuster, Inflact, and GoHighLevel. I'll make videos about those soon. This is day 4. Thanks for dropping in. Have a great one. Bye. Oh, like and subscribe too.